Hey, this is Chuck, and you are listening to Fans with Bands, the podcast where we talk to the fans and the bands they dig about life, music, and whatever the hell else we want to talk about. Today on Fans with Bands, we're talking to Blood Rune Sigil. Check it out. There it goes.
Oh, that's not creepy at all.
Oh. Excellent.
I'm going to mute myself now.
Okay. Hey, this is Chuck with Fans with Bands, and I'm talking to the dudes in Blood Rune Sigil, Dusty, Dan, and Grant. How you guys doing?
What's going on?
Doing great. How are you, Chuck?
I'm doing great. It's so thank you guys so much for reaching out, because I had seen your name on a couple of shows, some other bands I've been following, but I'd not really listened to your music. And so, as soon as you guys reached out, I got it on Spotify, checked out the Transformations live jams, and I was like, hell yeah. This is like for one, there's like super heavy riffs. I love the percussion and drums. You guys that's killer. And then Grant, I gotta applaud you for the bass work, because I felt the Cliff Burton vibe coming through on a few things, especially with using the wah.
Yeah, he's a huge influence of mine for sure.
So cool. So I love that, those big extended heavy jams. I think that's cool. I don't think there's enough bands that do that. The only band I could think of is a band from Lansing, called now I'm gonna blow it. Anvil Crawler. Anvil Crawler. Those dudes.
We'll have to check them out.
Yeah,
for
definitely.
sure.
Yeah, definitely heavy. And so, are you guys primarily instrumental? Is that?
We have been. We have on our first album, the Blood Rune Sigil EP. There's a few tracks that have lyrics, and Dan, we all take turns singing on them and stuff.
Cool.
But there's a few of them. But yeah, mainly we're an instrumental jam band, I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we do both. I say where there's like two sides to a coin kind of thing, and that's how we kind of embraced it. And the first album, the EP, is really written out, really thought out, really like meticulously put together. Me and Dan were in some pretty intense tunnels, both writing and then mixing later. But yeah, so that one is like that, and the second one, the Transmutation, is the other side of that coin, which is something it's like it's the duality to the band, and that's
right.
the real emotional. We don't plan it. A lot of those are one take improvisation jams. I think there's only like two there that are not.
Yeah, most of those we said literally nothing to each other, and we're just getting started playing, for the day, starting to work on our music. We want to like loosen up, and we like almost always start with just an open jam. And
record everything.
Yeah, and it's great. And after practice, we'll like have completely forgotten what we did right to warm up, and then we'll listen to it and be like, oh man, holy shit, this is really heavy. Like, all right, well, like we could use this, right? Right. So
now we have a song.
Yeah, and some of them we thought were, good enough that are, so good even that we're like, this is a song, right? I don't even want to go back and try to recreate.
Well, we also play
it.
We started doing them live. It became part of our live show. It became part of the live show. So we would do, when you see us live, we do the thought out, the well written out stuff, and we do those live jams. Yeah. And once or twice we've even did like a song that we had written out and played live for 6 months. We came out and now we're doing like this weird doom disco version of it, turn around like that. Just we like to express ourselves, and to us that's what music is. That's what jamming is. It's all about. It's just being expressed, and that's what the album's titled after. Transmutation. It's just taking all that energy, all those emotions you got in yourself, and letting it out in any way you can. And a lot of those jams recorded in real moments of struggle, both in our personal lives and as a band, and so they're unique and fun, and yeah, it pushed us as musicians, certainly.
Yeah. So one of the questions I had is like, if somebody's brand new to the band, like I was, how would you describe your music? I know you've said doom and jam band. Is that the primary influences for you, or is it? I guess it's all across the board.
Yeah, there's a little bit of everything in there, but I would say like, if you were to put a label on it, I would call it like psychedelic prog metal or something like that.
I came off mute just to say like I was waiting for that. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I would call it, because
we're a psychedelic prog doom metal jam band.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I should take a minute, because Fans with Bands isn't just about me asking questions of the guys in Blood Rune Sigil, but it's also about the fans. And so we've want to introduce. We've got Brittany, we've got Jason, and looks like we've got Joel. So how are you guys doing out there?
How's it going, guys?
I'm awkward. I'm awkward. I didn't know this was going to happen today. Fuck.
Well, yeah, you got to be
These are all
prepared.
my friends.
Awesome.
They're all ready.
You got to be prepared.
Joel's my bestie. Jason. Yeah. Dan knows about Jason.
Yeah, well, you got to be prepared on Fans with Bands because I definitely reach out to the fans too. So the questions.
It's the first word of the name.
I met the band when I was reading tarot one night, and then all of a sudden they tricked me into being a giant fan.
Awesome.
With their magical music.
Awesome. So cool. So cool.
That djembe is pretty good too, Dusty. So don't I'm over here always listening to that shit too. So.
Excellent.
Dusty's got magic hands for sure.
So yeah, for sure. Where was Transmutations recorded? Did you guys record in your jam space?
There was one track on there that was an improvisational jam that was recorded in studio while we were recording our EP. And that one is Facing Demons. And that one was recorded at Latcha Coming At You Studios. And Michael Latcha is a kick-ass musician and recording artist. Like he's phenomenal.
Yeah,
he's a great job.
Great job for us.
Great job. We're actually hoping to link up with him again soon. We're going to be going in and we got a new single we're working on. It's already finished. It's written, and a new live jam to go with it. So that'll be coming here next couple months.
Nice. Is it the Seventh Seal?
The Seventh Seal was one of the tracks on the EP.
The EP? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Excellent. So I was a little bit curious about, like, obviously, how did you guys get together? How did the band Blood Rune Sigil come to be?
I want to know too.
I want to start. You've been talking.
All right, go ahead.
So the three of us specifically, we met in a music project several years ago, pretty much by random that I ended up playing with them, just right time, right place. And when we were playing with that group,
Exantra.
Yeah, it was called Exantra. All the music we were playing was the constructed, written out. Everyone's playing exactly their part for it, and we still play music like that. But just like this group, we would warm up with a jam, and listening back to it, we'd be like, "Whoa, we should. What if we made this music?" Right? And we didn't really get the opportunity to do it. And so then, Grant and I were in another band, Stage Drive, for a while, and then we all bounced around from a couple of projects. Finally got back together to jam, and we're like, "Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's right. We do this. Like, we should just do this." It's just what it is now.
Yeah, Tim was had played with another band called the heck was the name of that band? Age of Hysteria at the time. He's a guitar player. He was the bass player of that band, and we had played a show with them when we were in Exantra, and then later when we were in Stage Drive. So that's how we found out about him, and then we ended up linking up. He ended up being the guitar player for Blood Rune Sigil, because the three of us have been playing together for probably 5 years or something like that now as a rhythm section.
Nice.
So
nice.
but multiple projects.
We like having like jam nights where we invite our friends over, just come and play whatever music is sounds fun to play.
Yeah.
And come to find out, there was another group of cool people doing that, and Tim was jamming with them, and so we started exchanging members on jam nights until eventually everyone was just in the same room. So now we're all real good pals. So that's how we ran into Tim.
Cool. And I think we talked a little bit before we got started that that Tim's like checking out some other opportunities, and so now you guys are making some changes to kind of fill in for guitar from multiple sources.
Yeah, so we have, at least for temporarily, we have a new lineup with a bunch of different musicians. We're doing, like we just announced a minute ago, the Fever Dreams single and a live jam. And at least we have a show in the beginning of February. We're not ready to announce all of that quite yet. It'll be coming probably early next week.
Nice.
But I am going to announce the musicians stepping in, which we're really excited about. We've jammed with a few of them already a couple times. One of them is one of our other roommates. So we'll start with him. Daniel Decker from A Day at
All right. I know Dan.
Coming in on guitar. And just wanted to say Day at the Station is a great local punk band. They're pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, they
and
are.
keep your ears to the ground on them. They got a new album coming out, and music video is pretty awesome. So pretty excited about that too. Separately, we got Alexander Harvey, aka Alexander the Long, coming in on keys. And he is a brilliant musician as well. We're very excited about that. I got to jam with him a couple times too. And then from Forge the Sun, Tristan Rusano is another guitar player coming in, and Allie Rose coming in on vocals for a couple tracks.
Wow,
So
cool.
very excited about that. And yeah, we'll be announcing more about this in the show and things like that next week. So
very cool. So you're gonna then kind of do like I'm assuming maybe stage releases, like a couple singles here and there, as opposed to like putting that all together into an album, or how?
Well, we got two things. We got this first, of the priority is, yeah, we're going to do this single with the live jam, so it'll be like a double release. And then we've been working on a third album for a while. We have a lot of the tracks already mapped out, so that'll probably come throughout the spring and summer and get that put together. And that's going to feature guest artists of all kinds, and we're working on that and figuring out who's best for what songs and stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you guys have mentioned that you pretty much, or at least this is my interpretation. You kind of get together, come up some riffs, start jamming, and songs form. Do you ever have it where one of you have come up with a completed idea and run with it with the group, or
both?
Okay.
Fever Dreams, in fact. Well, we do both. Yeah, we do both. Even thus far, it's been jams, and we've I'll come up with a riff, or Dan will have an idea, and we'll run with it and go back and forth. But Fever Dreams, for instance, was completely finished. Dan had finished. It's on YouTube right now. You can check it out. It's like he did it all himself and made a personalized video like 2 years ago.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, I mean, there's a funny story about it too. I was engaged and going through some things in a toxic relationship, and he wrote it about the bullshit from his perspective. So
it's better than that. I wrote it from his perspective.
Yeah.
How I was doing it, right?
So, we were jamming together and stuff at the time, and it's really funny. He tried to show it to me then, and I was so in the whirlwind of whatever I was dealing with, I didn't even take it in. And later, when I had recovered from that, I'm like, dude, this is really cool, man. What the fuck? So we've been doing that, and Decker's been jamming on it with us in the past 2 weeks, and we've been getting some recordings of that and playing with it, and we're mapping it out. So that'll be one of the things that's definitely going to be, we'll be hearing it soon live, and we're going to be coming out with it on Spotify and stuff. So
awesome, very cool. So like I mentioned, it's not just about me asking questions. Does any of the fans have questions? Brittany, Jason, Joel? And no worries if you don't, because I can keep going. Just want to open it up.
I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
That's a baby. Okay.
Awesome.
Hey, Joel.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna try not to sound narcissistic by saying this. As a person who finds that they have talent but can't figure out which direction to put it, what was the driving point that you guys said, you know what, this is it, this is fucking it? Was it the music itself? Was it the chemistry between you guys? Or was it like you just heard something else that made you go, we all like this sound, we all need this sound?
I got a good answer to that one, at least my own personal take. Like the three of us, we were jammed together on Blood Rune material, looking for someone to fill in guitar, vocals, or some other melodic parts. And when the first day we got Tim to come in, he started playing something really happy, and I remember I was just like, I don't know, dude, that just it's too happy. Can we do something meaner? And he didn't think about it at all, and he just immediately started playing the entire song, Mausoleum of Doom, just with no other input. And I remember when we were playing that, I heard the Doom pocket, right? I could hear the huge tones and how heavy it was, and I was like, I get to do a role that I really like doing in that type of scene.
That sounds like a song too.
Yeah, and kind of help map that's when we kind of knew we were going to run with this exact idea.
Yeah, that day I was like, okay, I really hope that this guy will come back, but even if he doesn't come back, we're doing the Doom thing.
Awesome.
Oh, that's excellent. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Brittany or Jason, you guys got a question?
What is the most influential song from all of your albums for each of you and why?
Good one.
Thanks, guys. Or thank you, sir. I don't actually know your name. What's your name?
Who, me? Chuck.
Yeah, you.
I'm Chuck.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, I'm gonna go first because my answer is, I don't know, I just want to say it. My probably my favorite song that we've made is like arguably a song. It's called The Shattered Veil, and it's kind of like a noise track. Tool, the band, is a big inspiration to us, and they have a bunch of tracks on their albums that are like, they're not songs, right? You listen to them and you're like, I don't really know what's happening. And at the same time, I also really like Pink Floyd, and they would do kind of similar things where they would have these really atmospheric synth parts that are like, you can't really tell where the song starts, right? That type of thing. And so I've been real excited to try to make one of those. And so we put one of those on the album, and you know, we spent hours and hours tunneling on everything. There's like 200 different tracks on that one that are all layered on top of each other. And it's my favorite one to listen to. I think also just because it's really unique.
Yeah, it's put in a cool place. It's the second track on the album, and the first 3 tracks on that album, the EP, they're actually meant to be listened to together. And if you listen to them back to back, you'll see what I mean. I recommend anyone who listens to this and hears that, go and check that out. It's awesome. Really worth it.
One of my favorites. Yeah, I would say that for sure.
Grant, your turn.
So, until recently, I would have said a different thing, but seriously, for a long time, it was the one song, but Straight to the Depths has been my favorite for a very long time. Recently we've been working on this new song for a few months now, and it's something new, and it's a whole new way of writing for us. It's done more in a classical way. It's got 3 movements. It's called Mad Alchemy. We'll be playing it live at the next show as well. So you may have heard versions of it live if you've seen us, but I'm very excited for that one. It's very, very cool.
Cool. That one recently.
Yeah, and it's got a lot of soul in it for me personally. So I'd say that's probably mine for now.
Cool. Dusty, how about you?
Oh, personally, I would have to say Facing Your Demons. Partially due to the fact of my rune itself means balance and self-mastery through vulnerability. So Facing Your Demons speaks to those particular things. I've had to deal with that many times in my life. I think most people have, but it's a good thing to remind yourself of how to sustain it.
Right. Hell yeah. Awesome.
Dusty's trying to say he ripped on a drum kit.
I think Michael Latcha had a field day with that, as a recorder, get recorded that, getting to set all that up. You had 2 full drum kits set down there with us and all our crazy ass expressive tones, and he's down there trying to figure out how to record it as well.
Are you guys still looking for a singer?
Well, right now, like long term, yes, yeah, definitely. But right now, for the immediate future, at least for the next month and a half or so, we're working with Allie. We got a song like we're writing for on, and she's gonna be performing with us for that show. But beyond that, yeah, I mean, long term, we are still looking for a singer, and we're open. To be honest with you, we're open to working with musicians in general. As we said, like, we like to work with different musicians, and we'd like to even bring them in the studio and work on a song with them, or bring them on for a show, work on a whole show with them. We're about it. We also do jam nights. We're big about that. We have jam nights here at our house. We host often, and we try to get musicians from all over to come out and jam and have a good time.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And try
we talk all the time about how cool it'd be to have, like, fucking horns and or a violin or different things to this. It's awesome.
Yeah, the way I see it is that like we're the rhythm section, right? And we're real happy writing these like real complicated foundations that are cool, and things that we really like playing. And the way to present that I think is best is just to get whoever's the most expressive, most interested, the best musicians that want to put their lead and their contributions on top of it. The better, the better, right?
Yeah,
so when we kind of change our approach to looking for musicians like that, immediately Alexander came to mind on keys, and like immediately he hit one note and we're all like, oh, this is it. Right?
We're like, send him the link really quick.
Very excited to keep working with him.
He's got a really, really cool tone package that next to Grant's, there's a lot, there's like, it's really fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
Yeah, the lineup we have right now for this next show is incredible. Really, really absolutely talented musicians. I can't speak highly enough about any of them.
Very cool.
Very, very excited.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. The jam nights got me thinking I'm just gonna bring my guitar over. Fucking
Oh man, you
Hey, man.
Definitely.
That sounds fun. So, who was there a particular person in your life, or a musician, or a band that kind of was influential in you wanting to be, one, play an instrument, and two, be in a band?
Oh yeah, we all have different ones for sure.
Yeah. So,
Damn.
You go first, then.
Okay, well, when I was in high school, I started playing marching drums, and I was like, I don't know what it is, but I really like this, right? And I played quads for a long time, really loved it. Then went to college and ended up not having too many opportunities to play, and so it's like, I gotta pass my classes or whatever. I had other things to worry about. After college, one of my friends was like, "Hey man, come play drum kit for me. Come play in my band. I need a drummer." And I was like, "Dude, I don't play drum kit, right?
Yeah.
I play marching quads. It's a specific thing." And he's like, "You could do it. Just come jam. Just come do it." Right. So he got me over there, and he had like one of the best guitar players I had ever seen. This guy he's a modern day Eddie Van Halen, right? And I was like, okay, I'll play with that guy, right? That sounds like fun, right? And then I discovered Led Zeppelin, ironically, in my 20s, and I like saw John Bonham playing drums, and I was like, okay, stop literally everything in my entire life until I can do that, right? Like that's I don't understand it, but I will, right? So I tumbled real hard on Led Zeppelin when I was starting, to figure out like how to play, right? But once we started writing music, I started working more with Grant. I started getting inspired by a couple more compositional things like Yes and Tool. I really like King Crimson. I like complicated music like that. And so when I'm writing, I like to go into complicated places, and tonally wise, I like big, booming, angry music. So that's where I wound up with that.
Cool. Who wants to go next? Dusty?
Yeah, I got you. I was raised around music since I was, before I could walk, essentially. My mother was a hippie and always around musicians.
Nice.
And a lot of different bands growing up. And I just happened to run into hand drums at a very young age. And essentially, it's just been my natural forte. It's one thing I just have a knack for. I love doing it, and it's natural to me. So
He's a madman.
I can't do anything else but pursue the ability to do so.
That's
I've been
awesome.
studying drums specifically for a long time, and I could not hope to teach someone to do what he does. I don't even know how he does it, but
That's awesome. Awesome.
I had a lot of different mentors by being around musicians. Got to play at 8 years old. I was a professional.
Holy crap.
I played with a lot of bands. Did a lot of gigs. It was a niche thing because I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of time in practice, a lot of different. I had a Rastafarian priest as a mentor for about 7 years of my life. That was a whole aspect. I'm from California originally, so it was a lot more available and diverse, and I would tell, fun times though, and just the way I'm at. I found
Excellent.
guys, we naturally vibe together, and I'm all about feel, so it's easy to play with these guys.
Cool.
So for every actual talented musician we've come across, we've had a lot of wonderful talent that I vibe and have been challenged by. It's nice.
Awesome. Grant, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, I've been obsessed with music. I mean, obsessed pretty much my whole life. But I say I fell in love with performing music out of trauma. Personal trauma drove me to picking up a guitar, picking up the bass. And my two big, I'll say my three biggest influences are obviously, as you mentioned earlier, Cliff Burton is real big influence on me, as is Geezer Butler from Black Sabbath and Justin Chancellor from Tool. There's a few tricks that he does that no one else does that I learned and really, really vibe with, I just connect with instantly. So I kind of, I pull from them a lot, you know, from all three of them. It helps define a lot of it. But to me, I play from emotion, right? I play a lot of the riffs. Like if I'm at work, I'm walking and I'm writing riffs in my head. You know, we wrote one of the riffs I have is literally one of the riffs from Mad Alchemy. The riff itself is literally the rhythm of my bullshit march through work, palette thing behind me. Like literally, that's the rhythm to it. So I don't know, like I can't stop writing. That's kind of my thing. I don't like. I started didn't even know how to play an instrument, and I with a mouse and keyboard making electronic music on like Fruity Loops and shit. And that wasn't very gratifying for me in my brain. So like it just naturally evolved. I eventually got a bass in my hand, and it just went from there.
Very cool. That's awesome. Let's see. Brittany, Jason, we have Cody now as well, or Joel. Do you guys got any questions for the guys in Blood Rune Sigil?
Cody's on? Cool. Alexander's about to pop on, I think.
Oh,
too.
no.
But Alexander's at work, guys, so you can't ask him a ton of questions. He's just he's axe throwing right now.
Excellent. That's a hell of a job.
Yeah.
I got an off the wall question.
Oh,
what's that?
I got an off the wall question.
Yeah. All
right. What fictional band would you guys love to play with?
Fictional?
Death Clock.
Yeah.
I like how you answered the correct answer right away.
Sure.
As you were.
Literally had several different ideas that were very Death Clock like.
Yeah, we like to have the over the top ideas, like Death Clock had their stage land, falling out of a airplane and land and crushes 300 people, but they keep ripping and no one cares.
I think Jason was asking where you can get merch. Do you guys have merch?
We do have merch. We got behind Dan. There's a shirt hanging there. Actually, we got some merch. We got more. We're ordering soon. Right now, you can message us through our page. We'll hook you up, or come to our next show, which will be announced next week, and we'll have it there too. But yeah, if anybody wants some merch, if you're who asked?
That was me, Jason. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. If you want a shirt, you can message any one of us or the band itself on Facebook or Instagram, and we'll hook you up.
Yep, no problem.
Very cool.
Awesome.
So I like to ask this question just because I'm always interested. What was the very first album? And it could be, it could be a cassette, could be download, whatever, that you bought with your own money. Or if you downloaded it for free off of Napster, then the first
I like the
one
money
ripped
one
off.
better. That's like you had to go earn it and like spend.
Right. So let's start with you, Grant.
What was the first one?
Yeah.
The first one I saved up money and went and got was Tool Lateralis. Was the first
Nice.
was the first one I saved up my own money and went and bought.
I wish they would release that on vinyl.
That would be so dope. That would be incredible. That album is my favorite album of all time.
Yeah, dude, I'm with. I mean, I don't know if I would call all time because I'm a huge fan of the band Forbidden.
Okay.
But that Lateralis album when that came out, I was like, oh my god, what the hell is going on here?
Dude,
It's
incredible.
Yeah.
I actually got into Tool backwards. So the album had been out for a while. I discovered the 10,000 Days album in my dad's truck and picked up from work one day, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Right, mesmerized, the whole packaging and everything, and 16 or some shit, 15. And then I remember like about a year later or so, I was working a year and a half later, and it was one of the first albums I went out and bought my own money. It wasn't something new. It had been out for a while,
Yeah. When I heard Tool, so I'll give up my age a little bit. I saw them on the second stage at Lollapalooza in Milan. They were nobody knew who they were really, and it was that was when Sober was just starting to become popular, and we're in the parking lot waiting for bands to come on, and we hear this this awesome music coming from the side stage. Like, what the fuck is that? And go over, and those dudes, it's literally 100 degrees out there. There's people, and so like at that time, Maynard had a big mohawk. There's people like, a crowd surfing, and they're playing in the dirt. It's like this like side stage, and there's like a dirt thing. huge dust cloud of like everybody moshing and everything, you know, and it was just so fucking crazy, you know. And we were like, and we found out the band's called Tool. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I got to get this. And so since from that point in time, like every time, like go get their music, you know, and go check them out. And so, yeah, love Tool.
I actually just seen him finally for the first time. I'm such a huge fan. It's wild. I finally just saw him, but yeah, I've seen him for the first time on the Fear Inoculum tour.
Yeah.
Did you pretty fucking wild?
This most recent one or like a year or so ago?
Just before COVID.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
Yeah, when they first launched the album or whatever.
They're doing the 5-minute gong solo.
Yeah, that
was
yeah.
Awesome. So Dan, how about you? What was your first album?
It's hard for me to know exactly. I'm pretty sure it was, I think the album is called The Question by Emery. When I was growing up, I was only allowed to listen to Christian music. And so there were like a couple really heavy bands that like, you know, still were technically got through.
Yeah.
And Emery was by far my favorite of the ones that I found. It was really heavy, right? There's like real aggressive vocals in it. The drums are super fast and loud. I was like, what is this? And I was like, okay. So we got these like mixtapes that we'd get from church that my pastor would make, and they'd have like, you know, a couple songs from each band on it. There'd always be one Emery track on it. And I was always be like, okay, I got to get the real one, right? I got to get the real one. Like most of these are bullshit, but clearly this band gets in, right?
Yeah. Awesome. That's fantastic. And Dusty, how about you?
I really have a hard time remembering which one it was, because it was either Frank Zappa's Joe's Garage or it was Slayer.
Same difference. Same, you know.
Awesome. Zappa to Slayer. Yes.
That seems suiting.
Yeah.
To be fair, we listen to both Zappa and Slayer, right?
So it makes sense.
So Brittany, what was your first album?
Oh man, what do you just in general? Which album did I like?
First one you ever bought with your own money?
Asking Alexandria.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, because of Not Your American Average. I don't know why. I was such a little. I don't know.
Awesome.
They had like their actual album, their iTunes album, their just like ringtone back in the day too.
Oh yeah.
Hardcore fan out here.
Awesome.
Definitely was on a family trip once, and they thought I was totally depressed because I only listened to that song the whole time.
Like, should we be worried? Oh,
that's right. I'm depressed because of my music.
Jason, how about you?
It's a little embarrassing, but it was actually Hot Shot by Shaggy.
Nice. Oh, fantastic. Joel, how about you?
My first, actually, I was blessed. My grandfather made me he didn't make me, he had me do some chores so I could make some money besides working for the rest of my family. So he gave me some money and took me to a record store. He let me walk out of there with 3 albums, actually paying for the like more. It was Linkin Park Hybrid Theory.
Hell yeah.
Justin Timberlake Justified.
Nice.
And NERD In Search Of. Like I had grabbed all 3 of those at the same time. And I just remember like being super happy that all 3 of them just in rotation.
That's fantastic. Cool, man. That's awesome. And Cody, how about you? You there, Cody? You're muted, Cody.
Cody is at work as well.
Oh, that's right. He's at is Cody is Cody an axe thrower?
And so did Danny. No, Alexander is an axe thrower as well. So Alexander, he's not like I call him Alex, has not popped on yet.
Perks of being self-employed. I can work and talk.
Same here.
Awesome.
Okay, I'm muting it.
So another first that I like to ask is what was the first concert you went to? So let's start with Dusty this time.
Oh God. Well, I mean, it's a kind of a story, but Grateful Dead.
The Grateful Dead, really? Wow.
It was when Jerry Garcia was still alive, but that was during the transition of like being, being a deadhead and followed them up until Jerry died when I was 8.
Wow, crazy. That's awesome. Dan, how about you?
I'm trying to remember because I didn't I didn't make it to any big shows until a little later in life. And I want to say the first one was Dead Mouse.
Oh, wow, cool.
Which is a great show, right? I think the first rock band I saw in person was Arctic Monkeys, because I had obsessed about them for a couple of years, and they finally came to town. I was like, okay, I don't care, I'm going to see them, right?
Yeah, yeah, awesome.
Another great band.
I think it was the same summer at the State Fair, back-to-back weekends with my mom. I seen Alice Cooper one weekend and then ZZ Top the next.
Awesome. Excellent.
Yeah. Yeah, Detroit State Fair, fairgrounds, man. They used to have awesome free shows back in the day. I don't know if they still do that or not, but that was
yeah.
Not anymore, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Cooper used to do it every year, man.
Yeah, I did see I think, well, for sure Alice Cooper, but didn't Jane's Addiction play there once? Yeah.
They had all kinds of big acts come through with this. I'm saying they used to be free too. Like, I saw ZZ. I was like 3 rows from the front when I seen ZZ Top too. It was free. It was like right there. It was like, holy shit.
Yeah. For some reason, I never saw those guys until like 2010. That's when I finally saw them.
Man, they're incredible.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I skipped my senior prom to go see it. You know, I don't know if you ever heard, you ever hear Rock on the Range used to happen in Columbus?
Oh yeah, yeah. I went to it many times.
The very first one, I skipped my senior prom with some buddies down there and did that, and they were the headliners.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I missed that year, but I did see, well, so hopefully this won't, well, I don't give a fuck. I can't stand Kid Rock.
I'm not insulted.
Yeah. I can't fucking stand that guy. And he was the headliner at Rock on the Range. Okay. And I went with some friends, you know, and they're all like, "Oh, I can't wait to see Kid Rock." I'm like, "Fuck this!" So I went down in front. I just stood there with my fucking finger up for a song, and then I went and walked away. I'm like, "Fuck that guy." But I got to see Seven Dust there, which was fun, and a few other bands. I'm trying to remember who it was, but anyway.
Yeah. It was a pretty weird lineup when I went the first year. It was really cool. I got seen Velvet Revolver. They were great.
Oh, awesome.
I seen there are a few bands that were really like they were just strange thrown in there. Like Evanescence was in there for some reason. It was the headliners was like Evanescence, Velvet Revolver, and then ZZ Top. It was one of the strangest festival lineups I've ever really seen.
Yeah.
It was cool though.
Awesome. So Joel, what was the first concert you went to?
As a kid, I want to say I believe it was either Nancy Wilson. Like I believe my parents took me to like the jazz festival downtown, and you know, like it was like I think Earth, Wind and Fire was there and Nancy Wilson. But as an adult paying for my own money, Maroon 5. I went to the
awesome
Detroit Symphony Orchestra building. I saw Maroon 5. I believe Smashing Pumpkins open for them.
Really? Shit, that's crazy. That's awesome. Jason, how about you?
So, like the same thing. Like as a kid, it was actually BB King in 2005. But the first adult one was like Alice in Chains, Five Finger Death Punch at Carolina Rebellion in 2015. Nice. I was living down in North Carolina, so that was a great show. There was like 50 artists there that weekend.
Excellent. Yeah, love Alice in Chains.
Ooh, Cody had a question.
Oh yeah.
Yep, I was just gonna say Cody's in here.
Yeah, there he is.
He's texting.
Yeah. He's so he says, I have a bit of an unusual question. How do you guys go about vetting new artists to work with? Is there a process or do you feel it out?
Process.
Yeah, you got to come and jam. You know, we're open to come and jam with anybody. I'm open to jam with literally anybody. Right? That's a non-committal thing. You want to come and jam and get expressive. I'm down to do that. From there, it's like, okay, well, how well do we meld? How available are you? How professional are you?
How well do you know your instrument?
Yeah.
Right. Like there are some things it's like, all right, we're doing time signature shifts, we're doing some awkward modal choices. And you got to be able to keep up, right? So for whatever that line is, that's there too.
Yeah, we figured all that out by jamming. I'm open to jam with anybody.
Jam nights are fun too. Like I was there for one, and I feel like it was pretty inclusive. Everybody felt like they could kind of just move all over. You guys kind of let everybody.
Oh yeah, we'll go out of our way we'll go out of our way to step off our instruments and hand off to people and still want to make sure everyone gets to play for sure.
Yeah,
it was very nice watching.
It's cool. You get the little amalgamations of the local scene playing together. Like, all right, well, we got the bass player from this band, we got the drummer from this band, we got the guitar player from this band, the singer from this band. None of them, like, to my knowledge, have played together before, but they're here making up something new, and it sounds awesome, right?
Forgive me, you guys. Who is that gentleman that plays sometimes with you guys for like fun and jams? He has long dark hair. And
I hope you're talking about Dave Swick because I love him.
I hope you're talking about Decker because he's.
No, I know Decker. I know Decker. Okay, I know Decker.
Okay, yeah, all right, for sure.
But like, no, I think Dan has the right person because he's like kind of small. He's like a smaller.
Yeah, I'm sure you're talking about Dave Swick.
Okay, yeah, you probably.
Okay, yeah. So it was interesting seeing him jump all over the place. Yeah. He was like all over the place doing stuff though. It was insane.
Yeah, he's incredibly talented. He can play any musician,
100%. Check out Dave Swick, Ogama County, and what's the one he's doing with Mike Latcha? Sonic
Sludge or something?
Shit, man. I'm sorry, guys. We're gonna figure this out. Somebody pull it up.
Yeah,
Michael Latcha, the guy who recorded our EP, is actually in another project with Dave Swick. They just had a show too.
Sonic Smut, is that it?
I don't know. Hold up.
I'm looking.
It's Sonic something. We're gonna find out right now.
All right, cool, awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna make sure you plug them properly.
Sonic Smut.
There we go.
Nice.
Real cool.
Yeah, it's always cool to be able to check out other stuff. Like when you guys reached out, like, holy shit, who is this band? And then boom, and then via you guys, like finding more music. That's what it's all about, really. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I wanted to say too, the other two musicians working with us, Tristan Rusano and Ali Rose from Forge the Sun, their band is killer as well, and they got a new music video and single coming out on was it New Year's Eve.
The single is dropping January 1st. They've got a new single coming out.
Okay.
Called What in God's Flat Earth.
Nice.
They have a show at the Diesel Lounge the 23rd.
Yes, and then New Year's Eve they're playing New Dodge Lounge, Dan's drumming for him.
Yeah, I'm playing on drums.
And Andrew's playing that show too, and who else?
On Eve?
New Year's Eve, New Dodge, then Andrick, Forge the Sun, Dan's filling in, drumming on with them.
I can check out the lineup. I'm happy to plug Andrick a little bit if you haven't had a chance to check them out as well.
Dude, I love those guys.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah. Now I've met Paul. I actually met him because I was talking to this band called Kuthu, and he got on, and then he said he was had this band, and he sent me the music, and I was like, holy shit, dude. And so I saw them open for Anvil. I saw them play.
Oh hell yeah, I was there.
Show.
Yeah. They kicked ass. It was so
they
good.
really do.
They always do.
Yeah.
That music is just powerful.
Yeah. I just saw them with at the Token with Imminent Sonic Destruction. So.
Oh hell yeah!
Awesome.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So if you guys could have like a beverage of your choice with somebody alive or dead, and just talk to them, who would that be, and what would you like to talk to them about? Who wants to go first?
I know who he's gonna pick.
I don't know.
I know.
I can think of two.
Based on the rants I've heard in the past 5 years, I can think of somebody.
All right, Dan, you're on the spot.
If you asked me today, and I didn't have a lot of time to think about it, my immediate thought is Beethoven.
Really? Yeah.
I really like that guy's music, and metal just didn't exist yet. I'm sure if I went got a chance to talk to him, to be able to bounce some ideas back and forth.
Good answer.
I'm sure he'd be like, "Oh wait, why are you doing it like this?" And I'll be like, "Oh shit, you're right." And then metal will just be better for forever, right?
Awesome. Dusty, how about you?
Personally, I don't know if he's currently deceased, unfortunately. But Terry Bozzio, personally, I'd like to wrap my mind around what it was like working to the constraints that, for example, would put on people, and also like, see his vision and understand like how making some lessons in with him, or at least to talk theory or how it works.
Yeah.
Just to honestly be around the guy would be fun, because it's one of my main idols.
Yeah. And he didn't he play in Missing Persons too? Am I thinking of the right
Yeah.
guy?
I really only followed him for being in the Mother Invention of Frank
Mother Inventions,
I
yeah.
was raised with like baby snakes and watched that whole the whole thing a lot from when I was a kid on. Yeah, core memory, you know.
Awesome.
It's like Niall for that reason. I saw him just with that extreme drum set and singing at the same time, and the theatrical ability to pull all that off. I was like, yeah, bravo. So it's either him or it's Danny Carey. And that's just like really trying to get in the mind of the functions and figure out some of his polyrhythm work. Because like
that dude,
I feel that
it's fucking incredible.
Yeah, I feel like
I'm in awe of his ability.
Yeah, that dude. Yeah, he's fantastic, and I think I would be afraid to talk to him because I would just like, the fuck am I gonna say to this guy? You know?
Yeah, I got shit to say to him.
Everything. Where's the phantom limbs come from?
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Grant, how about you?
Yeah, so for me, it's like it's hard because there's I have two different things. Like for tone, I would want to talk to Cliff Burton. I have a lot of questions, you know, but I don't think people ask the right question. But anyway, yeah, I'd like to ask him about some tone things, and then but separately, believe it or not, I'd actually like to sit down and have a conversation with Bob Marley about emotion and music.
Oh yeah.
I really wish I could do that. That'd be really awesome.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So I know you mentioned you've got the single coming out, you got a show coming up. Any other plans that you guys want to share with folks?
Yeah, I know. I mentioned we mentioned that we're working on the third album. We mentioned the Fever Dreams single that we're going into the studio for. We mentioned the New Year's Eve show, Forge the Sun, Dan's filling in for, I think here. Yeah, the next in the next 2 weeks we're going to be making a ton of announcements because we have several shows we just booked. We're filling in some slots on one of them. So also, if you're looking to jam with us, we're booking nonstop right now. So if you're a band out there and you want to not necessarily play with us in our project, but want to join us on stage, hit us up, shoot us a message on Facebook or Instagram. We'll get back to you right away.
And as an addition to that, if you also want to jam with us actually playing music, right, let us know, right? We'll let you know next time we got a jam night and have you out.
Even if you're interested in just whatever, just hit us up, man. We're about linking up, we're about talking music, we're about jamming, we're about playing.
Fantastic.
Other than that, check out the Blood Rune Sigil EP. If you want to hear the one side of our coin where it's very thought out and meticulous, and we're in this tunnel and we're mapping these things out. And then check out Transmutation. We just released on Thanksgiving. They're all live jams. All but one of them is an improv jam. The one that is not is called Borrowed Time.
And it has 3 improv drum solos in it. So it's like
believe it or not, that was mapped out.
I was listening to that song the other day and I was just cracking up that we had written that. We had the audacity to be like, you know what if there's like 3 drum solos in this one? Yeah, it'll be the drum song. That makes sense, right? We need a drum song, right? It's so intense. It's so chaotic. It's like a stampede.
One of those ones I don't know. It was fun, man. It was a lot of fun.
That's cool.
I will say, I want to plug that new one as much as possible because of how cool I personally think it is, and find it at Transmutation album available everywhere. Go check it out, listen to it. It's on YouTube even. So
also great.
Those are guys' new lights.
Oh yeah, these are our new lights behind us.
Looking good.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
I found out I could throat sing on accident, which was fun. That's me actually throat singing on the album, Transmutation.
Oh, really cool.
Yeah.
I was it's because I sang in the band Black Heron for like a year and a half, and I was like trying out a bunch of vocal techniques and like running my, trying to keep my throat really strong and active. And I remember trying throat singing a couple times and being like, oh man, I don't get it. Like there's something really hard. Like this is harder than screaming my head off. It's harder than, I don't know. I don't need to do this. It's fine. And then like out of the blue, we're putting together the album, and Grant was like, dude, like what if we had like, I got an idea for like this throat singing bit on here. And I was like, sure, man, what, like, how are we going to get it? He's like, I think I'll just do it. I was like, whatever, dude. And then he brings it back and it's done. And it's got all this reverb and the layers and it sounds so, I'm like, how did you do this? He's like, I don't know. I just know how to do it.
I did it like 3 times and I just realized what it was and just leaned into it. And, it just effects are a thing. And,
That's awesome.
I don't know. I'm not going to get into it too much. I don't think. I have pneumonia right now, or I demonstrate.
That's cool. Well, guys, I want to thank you so much for being on Fans with Bands. It's been awesome to talk with you. And I've just got actually 2 more questions.
Sure.
The first one is pineapple or no pineapple on pizza?
I like them both.
Yeah, it depends on the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm feeling, at all
Pineapple.
happy, jubilee, pineapple probably welcome,
Pineapple.
right?
Depends on the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Brittany, how about you?
You leave it.
I agree.
You agree?
I
You
have
like?
to be pineapple-y. I
Yeah.
have to be pineapple-y.
Gotcha.
Like I just saw a video today on TikTok of someone putting pineapple in a mac and cheese bowl in Texas.
Oh, God.
I
And
don't know about that.
you know what? It was ham, bacon, mac and cheese, and pineapple, and then
More
they
things,
roasted
for sure.
it, and it was beautiful.
That
I
doesn't
think I
sound
had
like
the
that.
audacity of thinking about eating.
I'll try it.
Okay.
It might not be too bad. Yeah. Jason, how about you? Pineapple, no pineapple?
Ham and pineapple every day. I love it.
All right. Nice. Joel.
I'm a stoner, so just give me everything.
Fair
It's
enough,
like,
man.
if there's pizza, there's pizza. Good. And Cody, you can write in. Well,
I bet Cody agrees with me.
Yeah.
I bet you he says yes.
All right. The other
Watch him
question.
say no just because I said that.
The other question for you guys is, what's your favorite holiday movie? And is it Die Hard?
Yes.
It's probably that.
I
It's
was gonna
closer to
say
that
Die
than
Hard.
anything. Yeah.
I've got a strong disdain for most classic Christmas things. They're objectively bad, right? Like they're actually bad stories with bad music and bad writing and everything, and everyone eats them up, and I'm sick of lying about it.
That's why
I love
Yes.
No, Die Hard.
Nightmare
Die
Before
Hard.
Christmas is cool. That's a fair one.
Even Die Hard's super cheesy at the end of the day. You have to admit it, but it's still.
It's
fun.
also just not a Christmas
It's
movie. It's
still
a
fun.
joke.
Oh man, Dusty, how about did you throw in?
Oh yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas was my automatic.
All right. All right.
Check
Dusty
out-
had a good answer.
Check out Murderville on Netflix. They just released a Christmas special. I left my ass off on that like 2 nights ago. That's fun. Check that
Awesome.
out. Shameless plug
Awesome.
there.
Fantastic. Brittany, how about you? Favorite holiday movie?
Christmas Story.
Oh, very nice.
Because you're
That's a
gonna
classic.
shoot your eye out, kid.
Yeah, that's a classic. Jason.
I gotta agree with Brittany. I've got the lamp. I've got the bunny suit. I love
A bunny suit, yes. And Joel.
I was gonna say the third Harold and Kumar.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I take it all
That-
back. I
that's-
take it all back. I take it all back.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, guys, thanks again for being on Fans with Bands. Looking forward to actually getting to see you live sometime soon, hopefully.
Oh yeah.
And to the new music. So very cool. And thanks again.
Yeah,
Awesome,
thank you, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, and thanks everybody else for joining. Really appreciate it.
Bye, guys.
Thanks,
All right.
everyone.
Yeah,
Thank
great,
you.
guys.
Yeah, good one.
Thanks to Dusty, Dan, Grant, Brittany, Jason, Joel, and Cody for joining me on this episode of Fans with Bands. Blood Rune Sigil is a new band on my radar, and I'm thankful for getting a chance to talk with them and their fans. Their new album, called Transmutation, is full of heavy psych rock riffs. They've got shows coming up and more music in the works. Stay tuned to their Facebook page for the latest info. See the show notes for all the details and links. These are tough times for everyone in the creative industries such as music. Your support of live streaming, purchasing music, and merchandise is critical. If you can help out your local artists, please do. If you are in the Michigan area, consider following the Playing in the Detroit Area Tonight Facebook page. It is a place for fans and bands to support each other and share our combined love of music. Thank you all so much for listening. Be sure to hit subscribe on your favorite podcast service to get each and every episode of Fans with Bands. Spread the word by rating the show and leaving a comment. We want to hear what you think. You can keep in touch by following us on social media. This is a Life in Michigan production. Until next time, be well and kick out the jams.